My mom was asking me the other day. She was saying, I can understand that consciousness does everything.
Yes.
But she says, I can't accept that it would, for example, kill children or molest children.
Yes.
So she says, oh, isn't it the mind doing something? Yes. So she wanted, she asked me, I didn't know what to say.
Yes. Yes. Can seem like this question is there, that what about all the horrible things? You say consciousness is the one doer. Then what about all the horrible things that happen? It must be said that it is still only consciousness that does them. And this contrast of life does get created like this. But you know what the best news is? The best news is that in the seemingly most horrific circumstances, truly nothing is hurt. It can seem very strong, all emotions can come. Even here, so much grief came when I heard about the kids, 130 children in school were shot dead. It is unfathomable how it could happen. So grief, it is natural to come. And that day, I was feeling that I keep telling my son, why do you leave your clothes here? Why do you leave your shoes here? Why can't you keep them in their place? Any of that. All of that we tell them. That imagine the parents who would never saw their kids again. It can seem like all these emotions can play. But in this realm, it has always been like this. The complete contrasts have always been here. Jesus was put up on a cross. The true, pure expression of love itself was put up on a cross. So this is the way this realm seems to play. And if we get involved in this realm as an object in this realm, then all this can seem too much, too much. That's why it's important to remember who we are. So that we see that all of this, the best, the sublime, the most sublime experience and the most horrific experience, both are just coming and going. And it shows us the great value of not getting attached. This appearance, if we get attached to anything, if we say something is me or mine, the simple way of explaining attachment is just to say something is me or mine. And if we get attached to anything in this experience, this world will always show us that it will not last. So ultimately, all is coming from this space of neutrality. Awareness is completely neutral, because for awareness, nothing has ever really happened. So all of this is consciousness alone. And we cannot fathom consciousness.
She can't seem to accept it. She says, for instance, like you haven't experienced something like that. So it's easy for you to say.
Yes.
Even she'd say something like, well, you've never been on the street, so it's easy for you to say anything is fine.
Yes. But from what I have experienced, I can tell you that I told once about this lady who was staying with me in Rishikesh. in same Muji's house. We were all staying together, and her fiance or her husband passed away, young lady, and her fiance or husband passed away last, maybe the year before. And she said that this was the experience of pure grace. Mhm. This was the experience of pure grace. The closest beloved one, he left his body, and she said that initially it seemed like the worst thing. It seemed like the worst thing, but it was pure grace. Because without this, I would not have discovered the indestructibility of what I truly am. I would never have figured that the truth can never die. And I discovered that everything in the appearance is just coming and going. Anything can go. I remember in Rishikesh the same year, we went, and I shared this story also, where there was this couple who came to Satsang, young kids. They were on a delegation, young kids delegation from the United States, and they were in college, these kids. And a couple had come to Satsang. I was back in Bangalore, so I didn't see them in the Satsang. They came in Satsang and they spoke. And the man said that I just want to be with this woman for the rest of my life, and it's the most beautiful thing. They were so much in love with each other. And then I went, and we were visiting an ashram, and the news came that this man died in a accident. He drowned in the Ganga. The strong news came, and we went along with Mujiji. We went and visited the girl. We went and visited this girl whose life partner, as she believed, had passed away. And Mujiji told her, and we just sat silently with her for a long time. And then he said that even one day, even this one day, you will say it was grace. Because you will discover that what is here cannot die. You will find the truth of your true nature. Yes. And in these cases, very natural for the emotions to come. We are not saying that we become completely robotic. Neutral does not mean that all emotion stops. Neutral only means that the witnessing is witnessing even the flow of this emotion. Everything in the appearance, if you're truly desirous of the truth, is pointing you to the truth of what we are. If we go through the entire life, we have a full life. Say we live 120 years, but we never figure out what we are. We're just involved in the appearance all the time. Then what is the point of such a life? How many such lives must we have already gone through? And we have seen with the events in the recent past that this life could be over any minute. Any minute it can be done. And if it can be done any minute, then what is the best use of what is available here now? If this life is available here now, then let's find out what is it that we are. Let us find out the undying one before death comes. Let us discover whether something real can die. Actually, I was going to mention in satsang the other day about the Sydney event with the Lind Cafe, and going to say that see, life can get over so quickly. You walk into a cafe and you don't know who would expect, at the Lind Cafe that is going to be the last few moments of my life. Who would expect? And then a couple of days, maybe the next day itself, this incident happened in Pakistan. So it has never been in any period in history where it's only been the chocolate flavored events which have happened. There has never been a time in history like that. Life is always providing both the contrasts. The programmer seems to have written the game like this. And we can keep arguing with reality and say, but, how can the programmer be like this? How can God do this? Or we can accept that that's the way it is, and to find out who am I in all of this.